This is The Minimum Commitment, film theory in small doses. Imagine descending a staircase. With every step, the air gets warmer. The light behind you fades. The steps ahead are in shadow. You can't see what's waiting below, only that something is. Director Alan Parker pointed his camera into that unseen darkness. His neo-noir masterpiece, Angel Heart, starts like a familiar detective story. A missing man, a mysterious client, a routine investigation. But every answer sends Harry Angel, played by Mickey Rourke, further down, toward a truth older than the case itself. A truth storytellers have been wrestling with for thousands of years. I'm Don Lawler, film scholar with a passion for sound. Let's see what Alan Parker is asking us to notice. Let's get into it. New York, 1955. Neon signs buzz in the dark. Smoke and steam drift through narrow streets. Somewhere, a tired wall fan squeals, pushing heavy air from one corner of the room to the other. This is Alan Parker's world. You don't just see it, you feel it. The air clings to your skin. The rooms feel too small. The silence between conversations lasts a beat too long. Nothing announces itself as strange, yet from the very beginning, something feels off. As Harry Angel starts asking questions, the city slowly peels back to reveal another world. A world where jazz music drifts through open windows. Where religious processions move through the same streets as everyday life. Where memory refuses to stay buried. And every answer seems to cast its own shadow. Released in 1987, and adapted from William Yortzberg's novel Falling Angel, Angel Heart blends detective fiction, supernatural horror, and Greek tragedy into one of the most haunting neo-noirs ever put on film. Its mystery lies in how every clue feels less like new information and more like a memory you're only now willing to recognize. Before we talk about film theory, we first have to talk about why stories have always led us into the dark. Not because darkness is evil, or because it hides monsters, but because darkness has a way of revealing what daylight politely lets us ignore. For centuries, storytellers have returned to the same image. A figure stepping beyond the firelight, descending into a cave, or entering the forest at night. The Greeks cast it as a journey into the underworld in their mythic tales. Dante translated it into architecture, shaping hell as 9 concentric circles in his epic poem. Bosch painted it in crowded, feverish visions. And Parker, in his own way, returns to it as well. Different centuries, different languages, the same invitation. Not to fear the darkness, but to walk into it, to let our eyes adjust, and to discover what has been waiting there all this time. Greek tragedy is the story's architecture, and formalism is the language Parker uses to build it. The descent of Harry Angel is not handed to us as information. It is built through image, sound, texture, and repetition. In that architecture of tragedy, the fall is never only his. By the time Angel reaches the bottom, we've discovered how far we're willing to go alongside him. The film keeps returning to pivotal thresholds that Harry must cross, each one marking a deeper step into danger and self-discovery. Doorways, thick with years of paint and cigarette smoke. Hotel rooms that feel like they've absorbed more human depravity than anyone should ever have to carry. Every transition moves him farther away from certainty. Harry leaves New York and heads south toward Louisiana. Each place grows warmer and heavier, as if every new place exists one step below the last. But something else begins to change. The investigation keeps moving forward, yet Harry Angel does not. Every clue draws him closer to Johnny Favorite, but each answer takes him further away from understanding what those answers imply. The trail always points in the same direction, and Harry never questions that. He only questions the distance between himself and the man he is supposed to find. As Harry slips further into the nightmare, Parker begins speaking through symbols. The camera returns again and again to a single image until it becomes a visual expression of futility. The electric fans. They are everywhere. Parker fills the frame with the machines built to create relief. They spin lazily above conversations. They cast slow-moving shadows across walls and faces. At first, they seem like nothing more than details of a sweltering southern summer. But the closer Harry comes to the truth, the more frequently Parker frames them. Semiotically, these fans are doing something important. They struggle against a heat they can never overcome. There's movement, but there's no relief. Harry's investigation works the same way. He believes he's moving toward answers. Parker quietly suggests something darker. With every question Harry asks, he isn't getting closer. He's circling back. Like these slow-turning blades that hover over conversations, the investigation keeps returning to itself. The destination never changes. Only Harry's understanding of it does. There's something deeply fatalistic about that. Greek tragedy has always understood that fate isn't something waiting at the end of the journey. It's already there from the beginning. The further Harry travels, the closer he comes to a truth that has never moved. Every step forward becomes an act of remembering. Parker extends that idea beyond the images. He builds it into the score itself. Broken piano melodies drift in and out of the scenes like fragments of another life. Old songs surface without warning. They don't announce themselves. They don't demand attention. They just return, again and again. Memories that refuse to stay buried. The music isn't guiding Harry toward the past. The past is calling him home. Every note becomes another echo from a life he no longer remembers, yet a life that still remembers him. The most unsettling moment in Angel Heart isn't violent. Louis Cypher, played by Robert De Niro, slowly peels a hard-boiled egg. Earlier in the film, we're told that the egg symbolizes the soul. Cypher doesn't simply eat it. He savors it, almost ceremonially. Cypher never behaves like a monster. He behaves like someone honoring a contract. He already knows where this story is going. Harry is the only one still trying to solve it. The scene was immediately reminiscent of the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch, not because Bosch painted the exact image. The connection to Bosch isn't visual, it's philosophical. Bosch fills every corner of the frame with impossible creatures and spiritual torment. Parker takes a more subdued approach. He fills ordinary objects with symbolic weight. An egg, a fan, a doorway, a name. Parker never points at the clues. He simply leaves them in the room. Imagine waking tomorrow with no memory of your life. Every promise you've made, every mistake you've tried to leave behind, every kindness and every betrayal. They would all continue to exist without you. To everyone else, your life would continue as though nothing had changed. Only you would experience it differently. Every familiar face would feel unfamiliar. Every old photograph would belong to a stranger. You wouldn't simply feel lost. You would feel haunted. And that is one of the film's strangest ideas. The ghosts that pursue Harry aren't merely supernatural. They are fragments of a life that still exists, waiting patiently to be recognized. The Greeks had a word for the moment when a tragic hero finally sees what's in front of them all along. Anagnorisis. The recognition that changes the meaning of everything. That's what Angel Heart keeps circling. Harry is looking for someone else, but the film keeps turning the question back toward him. The detective story becomes a way of delaying that recognition. By the time the elevator doors close, the investigation has already changed shape. Only the truth remains. On the surface, Angel Heart is a neo-noir detective story. Beneath the surface, it is something much older. A story humanity has been telling for thousands of years. Can we escape ourselves? Can we outrun our pasts? Can we become someone else simply by changing our name, our face, or our memories? Angel Heart answers those questions with remarkable honesty. Identity isn't something we possess. It's something we remain accountable to. Harry Angel spends the film moving deeper into another man's story. By the time he reaches the bottom, he discovers it has always been his own. Every descent begins with a single step. That's your thought for the day. Minimum commitment, maximum meaning. See you next time. The Minimum Commitment is produced, recorded, and edited by Don Lawler. Music by Alon Peretz.